Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. I haven't uploaded on here in a while, but I am back to uploading every Sunday. Today we are making birria tacos, and the first time I had these tacos was when I was in LA. I'm in New York right now. Haven't had them, haven't seen them really too much. So I decided to drop a recipe for you guys. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and I hope you enjoy this recipe. So you're first going to start off with your chilies, and I'm using Ancho chilies, and you can find this in the Mexican aisle in your supermarket. And I'm also using Arbol chilies. Now these are very spicy, so I use about 4 to 5 of these. Honestly, if you want less spice, less kick on your tacos, use 1 or 2, because mine were really spicy. Well, they were spicy to me. To other people, they just had spice to it, but to me, they were really spicy. So, less spice, use less of these chilies. So, you're going to take the seeds out of all of this because that's going to help take down the spice level too. You don't want to cook this with the seeds. So, you're going to cut them, split them open, however you can get the seeds out. It does get kind of messy because the seeds just start going everywhere. I had them on my floor, everywhere, but make sure you take the seeds out of all of these chilies. We are now going to take these chilies and we're going to place them into a pot of water. And we're also going to place it into the pot with 3 tomatoes. And we're going to allow these to boil for about 20 to 25 minutes. So while this is boiling, we're now going to get into cutting our beef. So the meat I'm using for this recipe is chuck roast. Now this recipe usually is made with lamb or goat, but I see a lot of people make it with chuck roast, so I'm going to try it with chuck roast. And you're going to cut this into medium slices, like medium cuts, not slices, sorry. And I'm using about 2.5 pounds all the way to 3.5, so it's somewhere in between there. So you want to get that much meat. I don't know where you're watching this from, but I got this meat here at BJ's for a good price. And I'm now just going to season it with salt. I have all the measurements listed down at the bottom, like always. So you'll see exactly how much salt I'm using, but I'm going to season both sides with just salt. Once your water is boiling like this is when you're going to take everything out. So it should take about 20 to 25 minutes if you boil your water on high. Now that we have everything out of the pot, we're going to take about a 1/2 cup of this water here that we use to boil everything, and we're going to save this for later. To make the sauce, I'm using 8 garlic cloves, a tablespoon and a half of beef bouillon, 4 bay leaves, a 1/2 inch of cinnamon stick, 1 tablespoon of oregano, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 1 can of chipotle peppers and adobo sauce, 4 cups of water, and a 1/2 cup of water from the peppers. And you're now going to mix everything into a blender, and you're going to give this a really good blend. So blend anywhere from like 2 minutes and on. You want to make sure everything is mixed up completely and blend it really well. Next, we're just gonna brown our meat. So I'm placing about 2 to 3 tablespoons into a pot, and I'm going to just place the meat in here, and I'm gonna cook it on each side until it gets this nice brown golden color. Just want to sear it just a little before I place it into my slow cooker, crock pot, whatever one you may have. We just want to sear it before we do that. Now we have one large white onion. So you want to get a really large white onion, the biggest one you can find. If you can't find a large one, then we want you to use 2 medium ones. So we're gonna cut this onion in half. We're gonna use half for the beef mix, like the beef broth, and we're gonna use half for the beef when we're making the tacos. So cut the onions up and then split these two. So now back to our beef, and we're just gonna flip over both sides on our beef. Once it gets like this nice brown golden color, it is time to take it out. So we're gonna take all the meat out of this pot, and once we do that, we're then gonna add in the onions, half of the onions that we just cut, so just half of it. We're gonna add into a pan, and we're gonna add this into a pan with a tablespoon of garlic paste and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. So I'll have everything in the description, like I said before, but a tablespoon of garlic paste and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And we're just gonna caramelize these onions, like get them nice soft, and like we don't want them crunchy. So do this for about 3 to 5 minutes. Once you have cooked down your onions, you're just going to remove them out of the pot. And now we're going to head over to our slow cooker. We are now adding the beef into the pot. And sorry for my camera, it started sliding a little. But we're then going to add in the sauce that we just made. We're going to place that into the pot there. This looks really, really good already, and it's not even nowhere near done. And then we're going to add these onions that we just caramelized. We're going to add that. We're going to give everything a really good mix together so the onions and everything is spread evenly. And then we're going to add in some thyme and a cinnamon stick. So you can use a full cinnamon stick or half. It's at your discretion. And we're going to allow this to cook for about 4 hours. 4 hours to 4.5 hours at the highest temperature for your slow cooker. This was the highest for mine. So now we're gonna get us some Oaxaca cheese, and this can be found also in the cheese aisle towards like the Mexican section of cheese. So you're gonna shred your Oaxaca cheese, and then you're going to cut up your cilantro. So the cheese and the cilantro is what you're going to be using to put in the tacos with the onions that we cut earlier. So once you do all that, you're going to place all these ingredients to the side while your beef is cooking. This is how the meat looks after about 4 hours. So everyone's slow cooker, crock pot, whatever you're using is different. So you may need more time, but if it's not looking like it's falling off the bones, then it needs to go longer. So now you're going to take some of the sauce off the top, and you're going to just place this to the side because you're going to use this for your tacos. So now I'm just removing the cinnamon stick and the thyme, and your meat should be shredding like this. If it's not shredding like this, it needs to cook longer. So as you can see, mine is just really falling apart the minute I touch it, and that's how you want your meat to be. So now we have all of our ingredients to make the tacos. I'm using street tacos. A lot of people use corn. I'm not a fan of corn, so the recipe is usually made with corn, but listen, I'm using regular street tacos or tacos, and they're really good. So you're gonna dip your taco into the sauce that we put aside, and what we're gonna do is flip them over and allow them to cook on each side to give them a little like of a hard shell. And once you do that, you're gonna add your cheese, you're gonna add your beef, you're gonna add the onions, the cilantro, more cheese. You're gonna literally follow this video like step by step to make them. Now, once you have stuffed your tacos, you're gonna add some cilantro on top, and then you're gonna add some of the broth on top of it too. It's called Consome, and you're just gonna take some out of the pot and place it on top. Let it cook for another minute or two, and then you're good. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna do is make the Consome, and I am making 3 servings, so I'm getting 3 bowls, and I'm placing the broth that I had from the beef. I'm placing them into the bowls, and I am garnishing it with some onions and lime. You can use about 1 or 2 limes in each small bowl, depending on how much flavor you want. I ran out of cilantro, so I don't have any more, but you're gonna place some cilantro in here too. So after this, we're done. Our food is ready to go, and I hope you enjoyed these tacos. These are my favorite tacos, and I'm pretty sure after you make this recipe, these will be your favorite tacos too. Leave me a comment if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to my cooking page. This is my cooking page. I do have a personal page that you can also follow me on. I'll leave it in the description, and thanks for watching.